All right, so the Mets have taken 2 of the first 4 against the Yankees this year. We've got Jacob deGrom news, we've got trade rumors, all of that stuff. We are just about, I'd say, how close are we away? Like 4 days, 5 days away from the trade deadline.
5, yeah.
5 days. So this is it's going to get exciting. It's going to be crazy. We haven't seen any big moves yet, but maybe something will break during the stream. Welcome to Mets Weekly, presented by Empire Sports Media.
On 3-2, Bader swings and misses, strike 3. He struck him out. 5 Met pitchers combined for the second no-hitter in New York Mets history.
All right, Andrew, your opening statements. Approach the desk, please. Go ahead.
All right, this is a big-ass desk for me to approach. But, yeah, statement win, whooping the fraudulent New York Yankees. You're not that good. We whooped your ass. And, we whooped your ass so bad you had to go get Andrew Benintendi, which is a low-grade DJ LeMahieu. So, good job, I guess. We'll whoop your ass in August as well. So, good job, Mets.
Confident. Frank.
Yes, I'm just glad that we're able to hang on. We had opportunities for lull Mets in both games, but neither one happened. So hopefully that's just a sign of things to come, that this won't be another lull Mets year.
All right. Well, first thing that I want to say is that I was expecting a split, and we got double of that. So that's good. First thing I want to start off with is obviously just the takeaways from this entire series. We did talk a little bit about this on Andrew's channel last night in a post game, but just laying it all out there, even including the Padres series as well before. But I think a lot of the energy from the Mets-Yankees series kind of took a lot of the energy away from whatever happened last time. But Frank, I'll start with you. Main takeaways. Every single thing you want to pick apart with this team. So in that entire 2-game series.
Yeah, I said it yesterday, but I think it's worth repeating again that, I mean, you always talk about in the offseason, how could you make your team better? And I think in these games against the Yankees, we really saw the offseason acquisitions pay off. You got those big games from Escobar Marte on the offensive side, and then you had Max Scherzer coming through big time in the second game. So I think that, having those investments pay off is really good to see, and it's going to be the key if the Mets do want to turn around last season. If they really want to finish off with a better season, because it was very interesting in your guys' video earlier today talking about Contreras. You talk about how the Mets are in a better spot this year than they were last year when they made that Javi Baez trade. So I think it's a matter of, we had a year last year. We're in first place for over 100 days. It's like this year we got to finish it off, because we've seen this before. We're in really good position late July, but I really want to see this team make the smart moves again, this time at the deadline, and then those moves pay off to get you through August and September, and you see what happens in October.
Okay. Well, Mets and Yankees, Andrew, with a headset on, I hope. Go ahead. You're screwing up my audio here, man. Come on.
That's what I'm here for. Yeah. Again, like Frank said, there was plenty of opportunities for the Mets to choke this away, and there's your content for Yankee fans for the next 2 weeks. Say, haha, you suck. You're still the same old little brother, trash can, little Mets lives on. But they didn't. They statements said, hey, yes, then Buck pitched played game 1 like it was a playoff game, where he's like, I'm not trusting Drew. I'm not using Lugo. I'm going Otto for an inning and a half. And Diaz, you're right behind him, and got the 4 outs. Maybe not the smartest thing, because game 2, first guy out of the bullpen was David Peterson. I get there's 2 lefties up in that inning, but why the frick are you going to him of all pitchers in the bullpen? Yes, obviously now we knew they were shorthanded with not having Drew Smith available. Obviously, Lugo came in and actually pitched like a major league reliever for the first time in a while. And again, it was a good statement series to show the rest of the league, hey, we beat the Braves before the break. We struggled against San Diego, but this was a good bounce back statement. Say, hey, we're still one of the best teams in the league.
Okay. All right, so my main takeaways, I would just say that, again, like I said last night on Andrew's channel, Pete Alonso, keynote, obviously, to this offense since the All-Star break. He has been absolutely red hot. Starling Marte looked like absolute shit, I'd say, for most of the at-bats in his series, but he got the hits when it mattered. Eduardo Escobar needs to stop batting left-handed. This is ridiculous already. And other than that, Taijuan Walker scared the living crap out of me at the beginning, but he settled me in. Max did the Max thing, and other than that, great 2-game set. And we'll see him in the Bronx later on. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Anything else on the Mets and Yankees? I know we talked about a lot of this last night, so
I just think it was really interesting, when we were talking about, David Pearson coming into the game, but last night we didn't have we had said 2 nights ago, we'll see what Drew and Seth do on the second game of the series. Little did we know that Drew Smith wasn't even available and that he was injured. So
Yep.
I think that, now that we know that, it makes a little more sense why Peterson was out there. But if there was injury concern with Drew, it's like you feel like you want to make that move a little sooner and not play shorthanded in your bullpen anyway, because Yohan Lopez didn't warm up at all. I know Tommy Hunter warmed up in one of the games. So, and Joely, after what happened on Sunday, you're not using him under any circumstance, I feel like, in the Yankees series. So we talk so much about the trust, but it's really gotten to the point of, like, how many relievers are they actually using? Is it literally just going to be like 4 out of the 8 guys? So we talk so much about, Trevor May will be back. Maybe McGill will be back, then deGrom comes back, whatever. Trevor Williams is a long reliever. Like, that's his role. So they're not using him in the 8th inning either. So we've talked a lot about David Robertson, but I like to see this team get David Robertson and Chris Martin, and then maybe even Michael Givens. There has to be not 1 arms, not 2 arms, but I think a lot of arms just to cover yourself in case anything else happens. What if Trevor May comes back and gets hurt again? Tyler McGill has shown me that he can stay healthy. So I just need to be prepared for anything, because you don't have the non-waiver deadline either. So it's like you have until August 2nd to try to cover as much ground as you can, be prepared for as many scenarios as possible. So I like to see this team get as many arms as possible for the pen before the deadline's up. And it doesn't have to be top tier guys, but guys that you actually feel like you could go to. And it's not like, we can't go to Lopez. We can't go this guy. People that Bud has to have at least a little bit of confidence in, because it's like, while you could win games with Otto and Diaz, don't get me wrong, like we saw yesterday, they're not always available. And I think if you overuse these guys, if you try to count on Otto to go, multi-innings, game in, game out, you run the risk of injuring him and having him lose his effectiveness. So I really want to see this team play smart with the bullpen.
The circle of trust, like we've said, it's thinned out, I'd say, to just 2 or 3 guys. And I don't think there's really much time for that trust to really build anymore. So you have to bring in proven guys at the deadline. This has really been expressed. And I think, obviously, just in this series and even in the Padres series, I think it's also need to be, it's just been proven that they need arms in that bullpen. Because, again, we can't really rely on guys who are coming back from injury, or some of the guys that are healthy and been pitching like shit. So, other than that, Joely Rodriguez, I think I'm done. I think I've established that, like, he's got good enough stuff to get strikeouts, but, like, you can't walk that many batters. It just cannot happen. And then David Peterson, who I like as a reliever, coming in a setup role or like a cleanup role. The last time that he came in against the Padres and then against the Yankees, I'd be getting so much shit for this about how he's done these last 2 relief outings. Well, guess what he just did in both of those outings? He walked batters. So you're telling me that weakness just completely goes away? Relievers walk batters. That's happened. That's the reason why I'm more comfortable with him in a reliever spot. Not many starters walk batters. Not many starters that do walk batters are sustainable starters. So all I can say is that he doesn't belong in that type of role, in the 8th inning or in the But I do think that if you get 5 from Carrasco, you can get 2 from Peterson on top of that. Like that's what I'm looking at. But I don't think he's 7, 8, or 9 situational type of guy. Walks are walks, and I hate them, and they screw everything up. So I don't know. I think if he can't, if he pisses me off in the starter role, and then he pisses me off in the reliever role, you might as well just have to trade him. No joke. But I can't. I don't like walks. That's it. That's all I can say. I don't like walks at all, and that's why Miguel Castro's not here. Love his stuff, but he's not here. What's up, Michael? Ronnie, how's everyone doing?
They trade Miguel Castro who struggles throwing strikes
for lefty Miguel Castro.
Rodriguez, who also has the same problem. But I think that was more of a matter of they just wanted another person that uses a left hand.
Yeah.
I mean, if they just want people that only use their left hand, then the Knicks have plenty of options. But I guess we'll save it for another time.
Yeah, well, that's a video for another time. We'll have a good righty in a minute.
Hopefully pitching Tuesday, Ronnie.
McCann uses his left hand a lot.
Pitching Tuesday.
I know James McCann uses his left hand a lot, but that's usually
broken.
The frame. Jacking off.
All right. Framer McCann.
What's up with deGrom? I'm glad you asked that because that's actually the next topic that I'm going to bring up. Jacob deGrom looks like he's penciled in for the second game against the Nationals. Is it in D.C. or still at home?
No, it's in D.C.
It's in D.C. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'd say it's kind of a low level of team for him to face. Yesterday, he's washed. It's over. All I can say is that you should have traded him when they had a chance for Andujar. And Michael Pineda, deGrom gets all the hype, but Michael Pineda is even better. But all I can say is with deGrom, it's a rehab start, so stop taking that shit so seriously. The only concern is how he feels, and he said he felt good. I don't know, maybe they told him to dial back the velocity a little bit, but I don't really think he needs 100 miles an hour to be the dominant pitcher that he is, with how good his slider is and how good his changeup is and how good the curveball he has that he can use, but he barely even uses it. So then he's probably going to have to utilize that because I think we all knew that the velocity was going to drop eventually. What happened now?
I'm just seeing people suggest if the Mets were to do an Ohtani trade to take on the Raisel Iglesias contract as someone that could be the bridge to Diaz, because that would lower the prospect cost.
We're gonna have to sign our version of that. Hell no. Take on the Aaron Loop contract because he's been average.
I'm
but
signing
not
Shohei in free agency. I'm doing Shohei in a free agency if you're getting Shohei. I'm not trading for that. It's not happening.
McClanahan's been a beast all year. I'd stick with him. deGrom, even if he comes back, what's he going to throw 5 innings? I mean, until he makes through the whole year healthy, Shane McClanahan's been a beast every start. So yeah, I have him. He's done really well for me, so I'd say keep him.
He's been good for me. I should keep him. He's been pretty good.
Do you really think a trade?
I thought we had Mancini on Tuesday at 12:30 or whatever it was, Monday at 12:30. I mean, I was hoping it'd be today with the off day as well.
Yeah.
I was really hoping today.
It would be perfect to just fly him to Miami, but
I guess Sandy's I guess we're going buzzer beater Sandy again.
I don't know, man. I think they're looking at all the options and they're waiting for the prices to go down for because right now the sellers still have the leverage right now, and that once you get within that 24 hours, that's when everyone starts to panic. So that's when you'll see Josh Bell go off the board and stuff like that, and don't really have any leverage.
I think Bell gets done by Sunday because I think they've made it clear that they want to clear all their secondary pieces before they trade Soto. So I don't think Soto is going to happen until the 1st or the 2nd. So I wouldn't be surprised if Bell's an Astro by Sunday.
Yeah, I most likely we most likely will be live for the final hours of the trade deadline like we did last year. But obviously on here, it's a maybe. Again, we'll have to see where everybody is schedule wise, but we most likely will be live. So guys, make sure to make with extra teams trying to make it is going to be different. And then you also have right after those teams that are, in postseason contention, you have like right after them are teams that are just not worth a damn at all. So it's going to be a huge shift. That he does well with no fans in the stands. I think
Send him to Oakland. Hey, who says no?
Criteria.
He's right. I should have done this Robertson deal ahead of time due to the price for him.
That's an interesting
Andrew
thought.
Smith being hurt.
Before it was
That's true.
public
And you
knowledge.
lost Colin Holderman. But I don't think an injury to a reliever would have pumped anything up as much as everyone thinks it would have. But
now losing Holderman, now you opened up. Now there's 2 open spots. It's like it was 1 spot you had to fill Collins' spot. Now you got to fill Drew's.
Lopez's spot is open as well.
Well, that last spot's just the utility, whatever. But like I'm talking like high leverage. Now there's 2 spots.
Yes.
And hell, if you're getting rid of Joely, that's the 3rd spot. So lefty and 2 high leverage, or rephrase that. Your secondary high leverage guys. Because Ottavino obviously is probably number 1, and obviously Diaz being, end game.
In game.
Who's
All right. Well, I can't. Is Medina still in AAA?
Yep, No-Go Dog is coming up.
Yeah, Nagosic looks like he's going to take over for Drew.
Nagosic's coming in? Okay.
Yeah. Pitch 1, limited sample size, so see what you got. And he was the guy that was going more than 1 inning, which is something that Drew was doing every now and then. Obviously, Holderman was doing a lot of.
Yep.
So it's worth a shot. Again, it's just so weird with Seth Lugo. I just wonder how that affects the way the Mets are approaching this because he just looks so done. But then yesterday, that was good as we've seen him all year in a big spot against a good team. It was just like.
Don't be fooled by
manipulation. That's what you're seeing. It's the options that he has, and they just need a fresh arm, and that's the whole deal.
Pitch 3 innings, and you wouldn't see him for like 3 or 4 days anyway. So they just try to get somebody for those 3 days. It really stinks because he gives you these great outings, and then his reward is always just getting sent down every time he has a big outing. It stinks, but
I don't. Other than that, I want to pull up a tweet that I had yesterday, and we'll probably discuss over that. But
what canceled tweet you pulling up now?
There's no cancel. Will you stop hopping on my dick for a second? Thank you. Jeez. God, I'm going to kill this dude. All right. First impressions of Daniel Vogelbach, and then I'll get to the whole tweet here. What do you like? What do you dislike about Daniel Vogelbach? I'll go to Frank first.
I like the sneaky speed. I like he's a little deception going on. You think the man can't run, all of a sudden he'll just sneak second to home on you, first to third. So that definitely was a lot of fun. But I like that even though he's like a big power bat, you think of when you look at him, you think, oh, this is a guy that's just swinging for the fences and he just has no approach. But you see this guy take walks, take tough pitches. So I really like that. The one thing I don't like is that I wouldn't mind every now and then seeing him just take a big swing at the first pitch, because I've noticed that since he's such a patient hitter, a lot of times the first pitch will be a beautiful breaking ball right down the middle. I just feel like if every now and then he could, just to change the playbook a little bit, sneak a big swing on the first pitch, maybe get a hold of one. But other than that, you have to like what you've seen. Like we've said, it's been significantly better than what Dom Smith was giving. And hopefully he could stick, because you know what? We were like, oh, well, Dom had the big game and then Cano's gone. Oh, Nick Plummer has a big game. Now Dom's gone. So it's just like we want to see a guy have a good game and then stay here. I mean, that's really what it comes down to, because it's been such a revolving door. We've used so many different guys. We used Travis Blankenhorn. We just had so many guys that we can't get one steady guy. And, you know what, he's only going to be there against righties and maybe at this point even lefties, because we saw it was just so interesting when Buck didn't pinch hit for him, because do you trust JD Davis? No. So, I mean, Vogelbach, he's there for now, but we know they will get some kind of bat. I mean, that's the one thing I'm confident. We don't know who it will be, but I think the Mets will definitely end up with somebody. And I think that person that they end up with, unless it's Contreras, is going to be the everyday DH. So then Vogelbach can just be your pinch hitter every now and then. And I found it interesting that they pinch hit. Was it Vogelbach for Canna on the first game of the series? I thought that was pretty interesting. We haven't seen Canna get pinch hit for at all this year. So I think seeing that, I don't know if it's a foreshadow of anything, but I just thought that was kind of interesting. We definitely know he could pinch hit for some of the catchers and the other guys in the lineup, but I thought that was, I wonder if that's something we see more often, is that it's like, but the other thing about Vogelbach, though, is that they're burning two people when they bring him in. So if you pinch hit Canna with Vogelbach, you're also bringing in Jankowski to play left field. So you're burning two spots at once. And then we saw Vogelbach get on, whether it was one of these times this week, and then Jankowski came in to run for him. So I find that kind of shit. We talk about having a bench, guys have versatility, things like that. So I'm just curious to see how that whole dynamic is going to work out, burning two guys at once.
Yeah, we'll see what again. I really just I want there to be guys who can do pretty much everything, and provide value in different spots and not be a liability everywhere off of the bench. And then you wouldn't really have a problem like that. Like, yeah, Jankowski, you don't know again if this bullpen's going to blow something, and Jankowski gets a turn at bat instead of somebody who obviously has a little bit more of a deserving chance or better chance to actually do something, because Jankowski is not the best hitter. So, yeah, he can get on base once in a while, but he's not a game breaker at all. So that's where you want to really expand the bench, and that's why I really think that, getting in a catcher that can DH like Willson Contreras. We talked about this in this video that just dropped about an hour ago, and kind of expanding a little bit more of the bench and not having to worry about having obviously this is more about next year, but not really having to really ever bench a backup catcher, and just kind of having both of them in the lineup and switching that out. But other than that, Benintendi struck out in his first at bat as a Yankee. Aren't they playing the Royals tonight?
Yep. Fits right in with the Yankees.
Okay. All right. But yeah. Obviously the Willson. I do want to go into the Willson Contreras. I don't know if for those who have not seen the video yet, we kind of talked about the short term of how, our catching position has kind of just been fucking terrible. And then kind of that long term effect of if they were to maybe bring him back and kind of pairing him up in the catcher and DH flip flop with Alvarez, just for, the youngness of Alvarez, and then he's 20 years old. He's not the typical age that a catcher gets called up in. So it's kind of more of a protection with that. But other than that, I think, Frank, is there anything that you want to add on the whole situation with Contreras? Something like an advantage, disadvantage, something like that with the whole possibility of a Contreras trade? Because, it's tough to think about it because of, having a catcher already on the books for another 2 years. And then obviously you have your top prospect. And then that would probably lead off to possibly Kevin Parada to see, hopefully he signs yet. But other than that, I mean, anything you would like to add to like the whole Contreras thing?
Yeah, I think one of the interesting things to think about with you already have a catcher for a couple years is, would it shock you if, let's say the Mets did get Contreras and maybe even re-signed him? Would it shock you if they did the Robinson Cano thing and just pay James McCann to go away? I feel like they've kind of already set that precedent with Cano, and McCann's making less than half of that. So it would be a much easier, pill to swallow, so to speak. This way, it's just not a guy that's taking up a roster spot and what have you. So I wouldn't put it past the Mets, and I think it gets to the point where they get so desperate where it's it's so obvious that we need some kind of offense from the catcher that they could do it. But I just don't understand. Like, I get why the Cubs are asking for a lot, but I also don't when it's a rental. So I just wonder how that's going to work, because I was just thinking about the market for him. That's the other thing I was thinking about. Like, what other teams are seriously looking at Contreras? I know the Astros are up there.
San
I
Diego.
mean, I'm guessing maybe Tampa with the Zunino injury is looking at him. San Diego maybe, but it looks like San Diego's kind of focused on Juan Soto right now. So I just wonder, like, what is the true market? Because, like, the Dodgers aren't in, I don't think. They got Will Smith. I don't think the Yankees are in with Jose Trevino. So I'm just trying to think, like, the Cardinals, I haven't seen their name in there. So I'm trying to think, like, what's the market for him? What are the other teams that the Mets would be bidding with to get him? That's my question.
I mean, I'd say that, like, if you're looking at
Minnesota
just, like, free agency,
maybe.
Because they don't have Garver anymore. They have
Gary
and
Jeffers.
Yeah.
Jeffers. I don't know. I really don't know. I'd say that, but I would say that
I wonder.
very...
I think one of the things to consider is what happened with Josh Bell. I know Houston and Milwaukee have been looking at him. So I wonder if Houston gets Bell, how does that affect their pursuit of Contreras? So I'm just curious to see how this whole thing shakes out.
Yeah,
Again,
so
we need that first domino to fall. That's what we're waiting for.
Yep. We were hoping Benny could have been one, but again, I don't think he's that Contreras, Martinez, Bell tier of guys.
Gary Sanchez is a free agent after this year, along with Willson Contreras. Omar
Baez a free agent. There's some really good catching free agents out there. Vasquez too.
Ooh.
Yeah. And that's why I thought maybe the Mets would consider Vasquez as well as another option.
Austin Hedges.
Yes,
Christian
sir.
Vasquez.
Get rid of Tomas Nido. Get me Austin Hedges, a backup catcher.
They're literally the same thing.
Well, no, he's got more power, and he's good in MLB to show. You remember that stream? I had 3 nukes on stream with Austin Hedges. You know he's got it in MLB to show.
All right, Kevin Plawecki. Robinson Chirinos is available if you guys want to bring him back. But no, other than that, I think I don't understand why the hut.
Yeah,
I don't understand why the
link to him.
Yeah, it's weird. It is weird considering that he's going to be hitting the free agent market, and you do have a lot of good catching options on that free agent market. So his value is not going to be huge if he hits free agency. So yeah, I don't know why the Cubs are asking for so much. But maybe there's
I get why, because he does have so much value. Like, I understand, like, a catcher that could actually hit, like, there's very, very few of them in the league. So I get why he has high value, but I just think that, like, he's a rental, and how many suitors are there? That's what I'm kind of thinking about.
Yeah, I don't know. Gary Sanchez is a GH who would catch if you need him. I'm not gonna. I will not take a flyer on Gary Sanchez. I think.
We've seen him in New York.
I don't think Minnesota's moving anybody. If anything, they're trying to get better, not take money from their foundation.
I mean, Carlos Correa wants out.
Gary's just like he's good when he's hot, but like no. But yeah. Anything else on Willson Contreras? The Rhino.
Again, we made it clear if you add him, you still have the ability if you want to still add a DH. Because again, you can just play him on the plate, and then you could still add a lower level Mancini or Drury, or hell, we don't know. Maybe again, I still think the Mets are waiting for JD Martinez to hit that open market, even if they get Contreras, because I think that's who they want. Because it's everyone and their mother is saying it, and I do believe it. It makes sense. So I wouldn't be surprised if they just waited out to that August 2nd. And again, I keep bringing up the Justin Verlander last second. Mets have JD Martinez. I won't be surprised if that happens, because I think Epler, that's who they want. Even if they were to get the Contreras Robertson deal done, I still think on August 2nd, if he's available, I wouldn't be surprised if the Mets end up getting him as well.
All right, so now I want to pop up this topic that I put out on Twitter yesterday. It's about the free agents in the bullpen. We already know Edwin Diaz is the number one you all want to bring back, but you can only bring one back out of all the free agent guys we have, which is Adam Ottavino, Seth Lugo, Trevor Williams, Joely Rodriguez, and Trevor May, you only have one that you can pick. I mean, I'd say that like every single one of them has somewhat of a case for the Mets' sake. Now, Joely Rodriguez, obviously, but again, that's just like the shortage of lefties that you talk about. That's his point. Trevor May, maybe he pitches well when he comes back. Seth Lugo, maybe he pitches well for the rest. Ottavino's been good. Trevor Williams has been good. I mean, who's the number one guy you're taking alongside Edwin Diaz? Frank, I'll go to you. Who do you got?
I think it all depends on how Trevor May pitches to close out the season. He's the one guy I'm looking at. I would say Ottavino, but he's just too old. I just don't know how many more good years he has in him. I know. Old guy shaming another old guy. I'm sorry. But I think, once you get 36, 37, especially when Mets are using him this year, I don't. We've seen the Mets overuse a old reliever, and then the next year, all of a sudden, they're not as effective. Aaron Loop. So I do worry about that. Seth Lugo, we've had our concerns. He's only gotten worse every year, so I don't think he's going to age gracefully. I just continue to see him on a downwards trend. Trevor Williams, he has value as a long reliever. He's shown some good things as a long reliever, but I don't know if you go crazy in the offseason for a long reliever. I just don't think that's like something you really prioritize. Joely, I got no faith in. Like you said, the thing that bothers me about Joely on Sunday, it's one thing that you're not throwing strikes, but when you're up by that much, you have to throw strikes. Like he can't get a strike even if he wanted to. Like that's how bad it was on Sunday. The fact that Edwin Diaz had to come in that game is an embarrassment. It's a joke that Joely couldn't handle that. So,
and you guys like Gregory Soto as a possibility for the Mets.
Back-to-back All-Star.
Ugh.
Back-to-back.
God.
And he throws 100.
Yeah, anyways. And then Trevor May, I think it all depends on how his season ends. If he's going to come in here and give up home runs again, then no. But let's see how he closes out the season. I want to see how he is when he comes back. There's going to be some pressure on him because, like we said, no Holderman. Those days when Otto and Diaz aren't available, Trevor May's next man up if they don't get a Robertson or another big-time high-leverage guy. So that's the way I'm looking at it so far.
Andrew, who you putting a contract in front of as a GM?
Is there an option? Yeah, is there an option E where I can just let them all just get the fuck out of there? Because literally all of them can piss off. Maybe you can make the conversation kind of what Frank said with Trevor Williams, but like unless I'm getting them for cheap, like a million or two, hell, if I could try to get them on a minor league deal, but like May, arms made of pastrami, Lugo, arm made of pulled pork, Joely walks the ballpark, Otto, I love Otto, but again, like Frank said, he is very old. But again, his arm, he's going to break down eventually. I mean, he isn't a velocity first guy. As long as he still has the spin rate from the slider, it's really what he can do. But again, like Frank said, he's in like 39 next year. So how much longer does he have? So gun to my head, Andrew, you got to pick one. I guess I'll pick Trevor Williams because I guess he has some more upside and his arm isn't cooked. But literally, if there was an option, just let everyone go besides Edwin Diaz and completely retool his bullpen, a la the Dodgers did a couple years ago where they just let everyone left and then signed like Trine and Canely. Plus they signed that Daniel Hudson. Like they went and completely retooled the bullpen. I want the Mets to do that. Really haven't looked at the reliever market. I think it's a pretty decent class for relievers, but if I have to pick one, Trevor Williams, but I would let them all walk.
I just remembered we're getting John Curtis next year.
And yeah,
not that we should put too much faith in because he's got an injury, but he is an arm that will be on the roster. So and I do like his stuff. And there's Yusei Kikuchi giving up a home run. Shocker. Shocker.
Garbage.
Shocker. Guys,
you act like Taiwan Walker. You act like Taiwan Walker didn't do that on back-to-back pitches just 2 days ago.
And Yusei Kikuchi's facing the Tigers.
Okay.
He's not facing Aaron Judge.
Yeah, he's got the worst offense in baseball.
Okay, they're all major league hitters.
No, Yusei Kikuchi is a glorified double-A pitcher. Dude's cooked. He's speaking of pastrami arms. That is Yusei Kikuchi.
When was he ever like not cooked?
Who?
When he was an all-star.
When he was an all-star. Exactly in the first half.
All right. Adam Ottavino, again, it's like the age. Again, like both of you said, the age is concerning, but I would not mind bringing him back on another 1-year deal, but you're going to have to give him a raise after what he just give it. So it's going to be like 6 million, 7 million. I think that with what we're projecting as for the bullpen, because they're obviously going to bring in some new relievers, but what you're looking at, you're seeing a lot of guys in the minor leagues, a lot of guys that are hurt right now, like Tyler McGill, like David Peterson, like is possibly there. There's like guys who, you can't really rely on yet. Ottavino has proven so far that you can rely on him. Again, you have to see him finish off the season. You have to see him in the postseason too, because he's had some moments in the postseason where he's lost it. So you'll see what you have with that. Lugo, I'd be willing to like. It has to be like something with incentives, like you're giving him, $1 million with incentives, but like that's it. That's all I'm giving him. And if he doesn't want it, piss off. You're 33 years old and you pitch like shit all year. Trevor Williams is the main guy I'm trying to bring back. Again, I said this before the season even started. I think he's going to be one of the most underrated arms on the market because of the versatility that he provides of being a starter and a reliever and just being able to throw strikes. That's pretty much it. Being able to throw strikes and get batters out. Joely Rodriguez, I think I've seen enough. Stop walking guys. We asked this question actually last week of why we haven't seen Joely Rodriguez. I think we figured it out. And then Trevor May. No, I have no interest in that. I'm going to tell you right now, guys. Let us know in the chat who is your main guy that you would bring back alongside Edwin Diaz, or are you letting Edwin Diaz walk and bring back all 5 of these guys? No,
be cheaper.
Here's the next part of this question that's not on here. Okay, what are you offering to all 5 of these guys? What's the contract you're putting in front, like the most that you'd give to them if you're motivated to bring them back? Andrew, go.
All right, shoot him first. First, Trevor May, I'm giving him some V-Bucks. No, I'm going to give him a V-Bucks gift card. I'm going to give him 1,500 V-Bucks. That's what I'm giving him. Seth Lugo, I'm buying him a pulled pork sandwich. I'm making him a pulled pork sandwich. I make a bomb-ass pulled pork. He can have that. Joely can just have a battery because he just sucks. Trevor Williams, I'd put $2.5 million in front of him. I think that's what I'd go. 2.5, maybe 3 if I'm getting into a bidding war. And then who's the last guy? I got it right there.
Ottavino.
Oh, Ottavino. If he wants to come back, again, he's probably going to want to raise, but I'm still going to use the age card against him and be like, hey, I'll give you 5 to 5.5. 1 year, maybe a 1 plus, maybe a $2 million of incentives to get it up to 7.5, something like that.
So Trevor Williams is making $3.9 million this year, so he's probably going to get $5 million at the most.
So he can walk.
But I think that is worth it, personally, just because of the injury concern that you have in this rotation. I think he's a lot more important than people think he is, and I'd be willing to do that. I just think it provides a little bit protection from both sides in the bullpen and in the starting rotation. I'm trying to avoid the Thomas Sapuckis. I'm trying to avoid the ones that are just not ready. And it's just like, I don't know. Do they add, they're obviously going to add some guys to replace some guys, and I don't think that they're going to full on rely on we do have Sean Reed Foley still, right? But he's under Tommy John surgery, probably won't be back next year. Joey Lucchesi, we know will come back somewhat, I'd say September. I hope. Teams want Sapucky. Yeah, we saw that. We'll actually talk about that in a second. But yeah, I think it's hard to judge because again, you have your struggles in in the bullpen, and you have a lot of the guys leaving. But other than that, If anyone answered Seth Lugo, listen, this is just how relievers are. So I listen, if he wants to prove it and come back for 1 million or 500K, it's all yours. If he proves it for the next 2 months, if he's not dealt, I don't think he really has any trade value. But I mean, I'd say that, like, ride the hype of his outing last night, and that's what you take off of it. So he's going to get paid heavily this offseason
because he got the Yankees out. Yep, sir.
He got the Yankees
like
out.
high
So
school
that's
kid.
the deal. If you could add one player from the 2015 Mets team to the current team, who would you take? I think I know Frank's answer, but I'll go.
No, go. Well, let's say my answer.
I think you're going with one of the guys. I think you're going with one of the guys in the bullpen.
That was my first thought, but then I changed because I'll give my reasoning. But that was, my first thought was one of the bullpen guys.
Okay, so then I have no idea then. Oh, I think I know.
All right, take your second guess.
Is this due to Crybaby? Did he not want to get traded?
Yes.
He's
the only guy that actually could still play. The rest of these guys can't play anymore.
Yeah,
like
is
it's
true.
easy to say Cespedes, it's easy to say Grandy, but like they can't play anymore. Like Wilmer can still actually help this team quite a bit. I was looking at his wrist numbers. Ooh, boy.
He's always been good. He's always been good with that.
Been in Mets uniform. Clutch Gene. Come on now.
I'm taking Addison Reed.
That was my first thought.
Personally.
Yeah.
I still think he's still got it. So bring him in. What's going on, Addison? How you doing? You want to pitch for us? Isn't he still pitching in, like, I don't know. I know he's only like, what is he, 30? 33 right now. He's only 33, right? I'm trying to figure out, like, is he in the minors? Where is he at right now? Did he retire?
He retired, yeah.
He retired?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
God damn it. Pull a Rashid Wallace. Come back. And where's the one guy the Mets should pursue if the Giants sell? We don't know if the Giants are selling because we got to wait until they actually say that they're going to sell or not. And same with the Red Sox as well. We still haven't heard if they're going to sell or not.
The Red Sox have to give it up.
Prime Noah Syndergaard, Prime Noenis. Are we taking? Okay. Question to add on top of the question: are we taking somebody who was like that?
No, he said the 2015 version. That's what he recommented again. The 2015 version.
Cespedes.
Yeah,
I'm taking Cespedes. I need a DH. I need someone to match lefties. Hell yeah, Cespedes.
I'll take old man David Wright because I'm sick of Eduardo Escobar. His back will be fine enough. Fucking enough of Escobar. Go give me David by third.
2015 Wright.
I'll take. It's still better than fucking 2022 Eduardo Escobar.
2015 Wright was good. He was just dead.
He was dead and.
He was a good player in 2015.
Hit a fat nuke in the World Series. That's all we care about. We like fat nukes in the World Series.
Oh, I mean, well,
like he was still 130 bat in that 2015 season. He just didn't play that much. Yeah, he got hurt. He had the hamstring injury and then the spinal stenosis. I mean, he got. I mean, that I'd say that like around that 2014 to 2015 range, that was the time when he started to get brutally destroyed by injuries.
And now the gods are taking
like the end. Webb's Love. How you doing, man? I remember this guy, right? Y'all remember him?
Yeah. He's got the CM Punk.
OG.
He's got the Punk icon.
All right. So I'm hoping that the Mets trade for JD Martinez, Willson Contreras, and David Robertson. They're all rentals. It should not cost the Mets more than Mauricio. I'm willing to give up Mauricio, but again, like we said in the video that we just posted about an hour ago about Willson Contreras, he's probably going to be for a more controllable piece. That's the thing. We talked about this in another video about
we do a lot of videos
being in a Brian Reynolds.
Yeah.
We make videos if you guys didn't know. About Brian Reynolds. About him being in a trade for that, but Brian Reynolds doesn't seem to be on the table.
Because the Pirates.
Mauricio, I'd say can't really be the main piece to a Soto trade. I would
Would you
love.
put? I got a
for
question,
it to
Carson.
be,
We
but
heard Ian Happ is. He's not. He's kind of. It was kind of not. Would you put Mauricio for Happ?
yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm doing that. I'm absolutely doing that.
Only a one-time All-Star though.
What have you
Mauricio
done
has
for me
0
lately
All-Star
this year?
appearances.
So
He does have, he did. He was.
It's what have you done for me lately? Okay, and Ian Happ is a baller. But
I still like having that. Like I said yesterday. I keep saying that. I
Of
like
course,
having that insurance policy for Nimmo. Just with Boris is like such an unknown element. You never know what's going to happen. I mean, I just like I can't guarantee Nimmo's going to be here.
If you ask for that, he's gonna laugh in your face, Boris. He's gonna do that because he's gonna say, "Nope, an insurance policy for Nimmo." Like even if you
no.
I'm
sorry. I didn't mean like that. I meant like having insurance policy as
a backup option.
Yeah, I meant like that. Not the insurance.
Oh,
I was talking about just having like
mind.
another. Yeah,
All
I'm sorry, like a backup plan for the Mets. Like
Tip.
just in
All
case
right.
Nimmo walks, they still have somebody that could play center. I meant like that. I get what you said. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Yeah.
I wouldn't call Beatty the next star third baseman yet, but I'd say bring him up to AAA right now.
Yeah, what else does he have to
That's
prove?
something that we do need to talk about for a second. Why isn't Beatty in AAA? I don't think there's really anybody that's really stopping him. Mark Vientos is
Kramer
playing
Robertson.
first base. Kramer Robertson. Oh, the great Kramer Robertson gets on base.
Springfield Cardinals legend Kramer Robertson.
Gets on base. The Epler guy. But no. Beatty's MLB comp. Ty Kelly.
No, I like what DeMayo said, and it actually does make a lot of sense. Eric Chavez is actually not a bad comp to.
There's
to
not that
Shabazz.
many lefty hitting third baseman,
Yeah,
and Eric was lefty, so
that's not a terrible comp. The more and more I look into it, it's not a
Eric
terrible
had a
comp.
really nice glove and arm, though. I don't know.
But no
know.
All Stars. We don't like that. Anybody no All Stars.
Adrian Beltre to do that too.
Adrian Beltre.
If this is true, then Alvarez would be mashing it as well. So he started off a little bit rough so far.
Never heard of him.
OG Mars Gaming.
OG Mars.
Never heard of him. I'm letting Nimmo walk. No joke. That's recency bias. Stop it.
That's racist. That's racism.
Recency bias. All right.
All right, what do we got here? What else? All right, what's this random game you've got created? You didn't tell us about. Look at that shit.
I'll get to it. Stop being impatient.
What do we got here? For JD Martinez, that's Cherry Budo, Lee, JD.
Who was
What?
Lee and Budo? Was that Bell that we saw was the potential?
Lee was Mancini. Budo was for Vogelbach.
No.
Yeah.
No. I'm saying there was a report. I think it was on Sunday. I feel like it was for Bell. It was Lee and Budo.
I know Budo was brought up before Vogelbach. Before they
Yes, he's right. He's right.
And then Lee was
was
for
the
Mancini.
offer. That was the offer for him. Reportedly, that was the offer for them. Jose Budo and Khalil Lee for Josh Bell, and then they would involve a reliever.
Hopefully, we're thinking maybe Carl Edwards Jr. or one of those guys.
Yes, that was what they were talking about. Let's see. Khalil Lee is awful. No way he gets us Martinez. Some guys like some front offices like toolsy players. That's most the toolsy players is kind of what got the Red Sox in that Mookie not the Mookie Betts trade, the Benintendi trade of initially. They had a lot of toolsy players that they got into that one.
Yeah, I mean,
toolsy.
Clearly's always going to have his power and his speed. This just all comes down to contact.
Exactly.
And you can't teach speed. It's hard to teach power.
I'm accepting the fact that you're not going to get Bell. You're not going to get Soto. Mike Rizzo does not want anything to do with us. So I'm not even trying that.
So chat, that means you guys have to do us all a favor. One of you's going to have to bite the bullet and go to jail and assassinate Mike Rizzo. That's your job, chat.
All right.
That's very interesting.
What do we got here?
That's a big number.
The Mets would. Oh,
It's 44 for 2 years, I guess. I mean, it's more than Scherzer. I'd probably think he wants 45 to 47. But get on the field first before you get paid.
Don't start the spam. Say no to spam. Come on now.
But all right, what else we got, Mets? Huh?
All right, so I guess we'll now.
It's gonna cost a whole lot.
Trade deadline.
Oh,
This was the
I love
exact. This was the exact time where we did it. Last year,
Oh,
which
God.
was rapid fire, where we give our thoughts on a player that played for the Mets this year in 15 seconds. Say whatever the hell you want, whatever comes to your head.
Oh, that's a terrible idea. That is a terrible
I was
idea.
hoping we could watch our reaction to when Scherzer got traded to the Dodgers. Little did we know. A year later he would be dominating.
He would be in a Met uniform.
Oh
man.
my God.
Well, listen,
Good
Andy
time.
Martino had us telling that he hates the Mets, and that was the deal. So let me pop up a wheel because we like wheels here. You guys didn't know. It's our first wheel while being part of ESM, so this is kind of monumental.
Is it
So we got every single piece of garbage, piece of amazingness, and 15 seconds to recap anything that you want to say about this player. We'll go to some chat questions, and then we'll end it off there at an hour because we do not have our fourth member here today. That would have taken the stream a little bit longer. There is not a game today, but listen, tomorrow there will be because that's how that works. Okay, so we're going to spin this, and I have this in the top right. Andrew, you'll go first. Go ahead.
Boy. All right, who am I giving a roast session to? What we got?
Carlos Carrasco.
Ooh.
All right, 15 seconds. Carlos Carrasco, go.
Again, in flippy flop, sometimes really good, sometimes very bad. Fixed up that first inning bugaboo, yet still has occasional, but every pitcher does. Cancer survivor. I like cookies, so legit.
Okay. That's all right. That's tough. All right.
That's tough.
Oh, please give me
All
better.
right.
I can't see it. It's frozen on my screen.
Yeah, it's frozen.
You got Jake Reed, I'll tell you.
Oh my gosh.
Roast session time, baby.
All right. Jake Reed. Blech. 15 seconds.
He's a guy that I had high hopes for. I thought he'd be a nice asset with his arm slot, a different change of pace, particularly pairing up with Pearson, lefty righty. But he came in, said yes and absolutely, of course, to walks, and he is no longer here. Thank God.
See what happens when you say yes to walks? You get roasted by Frank About Sports. That's
Frank
the
About
lesson,
roasted.
kids. All right. Let's see who I get. Oh, another wild man. All right.
We didn't talk about him twice already today.
We haven't
exactly.
talked about him twice already. All right. Great stuff. Great changeup. Would have liked him as a lefty specialist, but he hasn't really been playing a lefty specialist. Horrible as the up downs. He's not elite at all. He just walks people. I hate walks. Say no to walks, kids. I hate that. Fuck walks. All right.
Oh boy.
That is Andrew's turn.
Yeah.
Oh God, Spearman himself.
Oh, God.
Spearman.
Get the
It's been a while. Tommy John surgery. Gonna be recovering from that. Probably won't see him for a while next year. If not, he gets DFA'd. John Reed Foley, 15 seconds. There you go.
God, you are a sticky merch and you take goddamn forever. I can eat a whole goddamn buffet before you would decide to fucking pick a pitch and throw the damn thing. Thank God you're not thank God you're injured. I don't want to hurt anybody else, but you suck. Goodbye.
Okay.
You notice how both of his summaries have food on them.
Oh, and it will continue. That's your bottom dollar.
Oh my goodness gracious!
I don't care. I don't give a shit about the stuff, Zarice. He stinks. He can't throw a strike.
Good grades.
He's got the good stuff.
God.
Oh no!
The heel.
Oh, I wanted this one. Oh, I wanted.
I don't even have to.
Oh, I wanted.
All
I
right.
could have had. I had a stick ready too.
Frank, 15 seconds for the newest Boris client.
I'm
Go
not
ahead.
liking the ground ball rate. I'm not liking the first pitch swinging. I'm not seeing vintage Nimmo. He's starting to remind me just a smidge of another outfielder that his name ended with an O and had the same agent, but I hope it's not the same outcome.
All right. Well,
Yeah, that's going to be
No.
quick for a future reference.
all right. All right. Who do I get? God, I'm gonna get someone worse.
You'll get like no. You gotta get
It's
McCann.
Colin Walker.
It's
Fuck
gotta
off.
Who is it?
These loser relievers, man.
Oh,
Thank God
there
we
you
didn't
go.
get Brad Hand. We got Chase.
be McCann. We got Chase and Shreve, but instead of all
right.
Red Hand.
You were chasing Shreve. You turned into Shrevo for a little bit. You were unstoppable. But the ball went into the air, and you became useless. You completely suck. You look like a homeless person. I hate Mets-Yankees crossovers. They suck. But other than that, Rhino, it's your up.
Give me someone.
Here we go. Oh. Yeah.
This is perfect. This is rigged. All right. Go ahead. Roast him, even though he's the only good guy off the bench. 15 seconds.
You are a glorified bum. You shave your beard. You have this great Renaissance teeth, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, everybody loves Luis Guillorme," even though he's got a higher ground ball rate than goddamn Drew Smith has a higher fly ball rate. Like it is a bit. Go get the fuck off the team. Just go. See you. Bye, Jebediah. Bye.
Jebediah.
That is a word we're not using in the chat. Jesus.
What the hell? Okay.
All right. Well, Andrew's in charge now. What
I'm
else?
in charge now, so this is a terrible idea. If Mets fan has decided, I think he probably kicked a dog and knocked the Wi-Fi over. And
What else do we have on the docket?
what else we got on the docket?
Oh, I didn't leave on purpose. It literally just said connection failed. So
See, Wesley, kick the dog again.
kicked the
Wesley, kick the dog again. All right. Ooh, we got Twitter. What do we got? Twitter notification.
Kick Reed outing
All right.
for what? The minor leagues? Where is it?
I don't know.
Why is Jeff Passan tweeting about the Dodgers trading Cartara? I don't like this. This is not good. No,
We're just
Passan
waiting for
just
news to break,
yeah.
folks. So.
Oh, he said if
Yeah.
they were to make a trade, he would.
And
probably be part of it.
Cartara would be the big piece going. And so if he's going, they got something up their sleeve because they're not just trading Cartara for anything.
Okay, it's Frank's turn. We'll do one
Yeah.
more rotation or after this, and then we'll get to some chat questions.
Oh.
They're listening. This video this wheel's
God.
listening to us. All right. Taiwan Walker.
Frank
Ty.
About Sports.
I'm your biggest fan. You know I always support you. You make my heart accelerate. You make my hair fall out and get grayer even quicker than it normally is. It's stressful watching you, but you give me the good ERA. That's all I could ask for. So please keep it up.
Oh man.
Elite pickoff move.
Elite pickup move.
Elite pickoffs.
All right. Stop giving me garbage like these loser relievers.
Come on,
please.
James McCann.
Come on.
James McCann. James McCann. James McCann.
Oh, we get fast. Oh. We could have predicted these. Like, we could have like scripted them.
We did not script this, chat. Trust us.
All right. 15 seconds to talk about this guy. This is gonna-
Yes,
this is gonna
sir.
be really tough.
Give him his
All right.
flowers.
You are fat. You're unathletic. You don't do anything. You have absolutely no talent. You are not worth $40 million. I really would probably take a monkey with a peg leg over you. And I cannot wait till you're gone. I cannot wait until Francisco Alvarez. Bye.
James, I like you, James. You're an all-star.
Fuck James. You're up.
Future Cub.
Future Cub,
Future
baby.
Cub.
All right, let's see.
Oh my God.
Oh no. I'll get the.
All right. All right.
All right.
He's got swag. Go ahead. 15 seconds.
I mean, you're a fighter. You wanted to kick Nolan Arenado's ass. I'm all for it, even though he threw Tomas Nido about 40 feet into the ocean, it seemed like. You are the mop-up guy. You've had good outings in Chicago and Houston. You're just there to beat motherfuckers up. I like it.
There you go. The headhunter.
All right.
Headhunter, baby.
Oh boy, here we go.
All
right.
No! No! No!
Yes! There is CRT.
Oh my God, the nightmare of Mets fans.
Or just Frank About Sports, the nightmare that was Ender CRT.
He, out of all the Mets this year, he's probably my least favorite Met they got the entire season because he had Wilpon written all over him. He can't hit anything. You have a better chance with me swinging the bat. Absolutely useless. I hope we never see him in Mets uniform again.
All right.
All right, now Mets fan is going. No.
Picked up by anyone?
This is going to be Colin Holderman.
He went right to, he elected free agency after clearing waivers and going to AAA. So, and again, nobody's in a rush to sign him. Yeah.
All right. All right.
Fupa.
An amazing recovery story for this guy. He throws strikes, says no to walks. I love the guy. He can be reliable. He's had a few mishaps, but hey, he's getting up there in age, but great depth guy for the bullpen. I love you, Tommy. Fan favorite. All right. So that's pretty much it, guys. Questions, comments, and then we're probably going to end this off here. And then we'll end this off here. Yeah. All right.
And then in 2 hours, the Mets will make a trade. Terror.
There was something about I saw something about what's it called on Twitter.
I just saw Ken Rosenthal was on MLB Network. He said Mets are looking for bullpen help and a right-handed bat DH type, someone like Mancini, or if he becomes available, JD Martinez. So you
there
know,
you go.
the things
we're looking. Wait, we want bullpen arms? Why?
I didn't realize we needed bullpen arms. No, surprise.
That was almost a Martino like a summary.
Again, what the reactionary that is Andy Martino? Says, hey, Mets want bullpen arms. No shit, dumbass.
Is Tommy Hunter elite? He's an elite human, so that's all we like.
He's a very good
him.
human, yes, sir.
You don't see him that much, but hey, he
has a good beard too. He does have a good beard, and he's got a 1,000 batting average.
Hey, yes, can't take that away.
That's good.
He got a hit in the show.
Against the Braves too, I'm pretty sure.
Against the exactly.
Oh, I think Alex Ramirez just hit a Oppo Taco.
Hey, attaboy, A-Ram.
When did he when was the last time he pitched?
He got up in the Yankees.
Warming up against the Yankees, but
yeah,
I don't
last time he pitched was the 17th.
Sunday against the Cubs, last game before the break.
Yeah.
Because they had like nobody available after the double.
They should have kept him in that game, I think. Right? Last game against the Cubs, should have kept him.
Drew was one of the collapse in the eighth inning, but
came in and blew it.
Drew puckered his anus.
Yeah, with the ground balls, and we got it.
And Willson Contreras got a clutch hit. You know, we like clutch hits.
Yeah.
Tommy Hunter's 245 pounds. What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
Actually,
that's not
what's
wrong with that.
Joe Mantiply is the guy that I want. I would love Joe Mantiply. There hasn't really been much about him besides.
I've seen there's been talks about it, but I've heard the asking price is crazy. He has so many years of control.
Yeah. Let's see.
He was an all-star, so
all-star too.
He had the what's it called? He was a rookie when he was like 30 years old, so
got that.
He obviously has a lot of control.
I'm not too high on him because I always get worried when we see a reliever out of nowhere just have an amazing first half. Just like he's not a proven guy. Those are the guys that you worry about are just all of a sudden, whether it's next year or the second half, could just completely fall apart. So he kind of scares me.
I don't think he would be.
I'm 50-50 with him. It's always good to add another all-star
guy. He doesn't want to close the role.
Doesn't want the closer role, Andy Martino. White Sox, trade Liam Hendricks already. Just trade him.
Joe Mantiply. I think I really think a lot of these guys don't want to come to New York just because Sandy Martino's here.
I mean, I would too. I mean,
That's usually my. He is quite the loser, man. Quite the
Facts.
loser.
what's it called? Andrew Benintendi had to answer
Mantiply
a
was a
question
Yankee.
Of course he was.
Yankee.
Everyone's a Yankee.
I mean, he's never really been that. I mean, he's been fine for like a few years. He just hasn't come to this caliber yet. But
And the Diamondbacks also suck. So.
And they also have
Diamonds also suck.
strong.
And they did have Brent Strom. Yeah, they do have Brent
So
Strom now.
they got some cheating, spinning stuff.
Alex Ramirez just homered to the opposite field.
That's good.
Wonder who
Even
told
though-
you that.
Why couldn't he do that when I was there? The dude struck out 4 times.
I
Four
heard this
times,
Actually,
man.
been seeing this is still undecided.
He said he was going to wait to see what the situation in the press conference today. He was going to wait and see what the situation
Just
was.
inconsistent. All right.
He's consistently bad.
Yeah.
He's
Julio!
consistently toxic to the Mets media. That's what he is.
Yeah.
Give me Soto. No. No. I'm good. I'm good.
The next Josh Hader is probably.
Yeah, the Jason Shreve.
You got that-
Hey, we had Brandon Drury, who was a Yankee, and he turned out pretty well.
He turned out pretty well. Hit some fat nukes in Cincinnati.
Fat nukes.
He's got double the fat nukes Eduardo Escobar has.
I mean, does it gets playing Great American Small Park?
Hey, City Field's a small ballpark.
It's not a Great American Small Park.
The wind blows
don't-
out.
Again, distance means legitimately nothing when you're comparing ballpark. I don't know what I don't know what.
What about the
what's going on.
uniform? Does the uniform mean anything?
I mean, he did play well in the uniform.
Again,
Unlike-
that's just
You don't
pertaining to the Mets,
understand.
not
You
everybody
don't
else.
understand. If you put on a Mets uniform and you stand on the third base bag at Citi Field, all your attributes get an instant -4. Instant.
it's like, oh man.
Okay,
I mean-
that
Brett Beatty, it's going to be tough to do.
Dude, Brett Beatty's just gonna be better than David, right? I'm
That's
just gonna
a
say it
great
now.
question.
Lindor's still in his prime.
Still
so,
Lindor.
Like
I'd still take Lindor.
Prime Reyes was an animal. He was an animal for the Mets. Was he elite like Lindor was at his best? I don't know. I don't
I
know.
love the stolen bases. Reyes
Nah.
was wiping bags left and right.
Lindor got more power, so I get more homers out of
That was a
Lindor.
Met. I mean, Reyes was hitting some out the park.
Occasionally, he had more power in his after his wife beater days. It seemed he only would he hit like 20 homers with the Mets in like 19.
That's well, yeah. No, it wasn't 19. It was 16.
16, whenever that
Lindor is more toolsy than Reyes.
better defender.
No, yes, Lindor was definitely better defender. No question.
So
Lindor
it's
has more
what
range
do you
than Reyes.
prefer? Speed or every other tool to go to Lindor?
And don't forget the batting average of Jose Reyes. Batting
mean,
champion. You know,
Oh yes,
sneaky
where he dropped a bunt and left the game because
yeah,
that's how.
I still hate that.
That was his
Such
that
a
was his
close move.
last. I mean, no, he came back, but like that was his last. Takes himself out of the game to bat 1,000 for one game, and that was his last.
That was his last AB as a Met.
That was the only highlight of that 2011 season. I don't think there was really anything else.
No, we saw Mike Pelfrey pitch. That's always a beautiful time.
Beltran was dealt.
Oh, but he sucks. Who cares?
Beltran was dealt. Jason Bay got hurt, right?
Jason Bay got hurt.
Why
Yeah.
are we revisiting this?
I mean, that's a
That
good.
was like one of the
oh,
first
yeah.
seasons I remember.
No, that's a great
One of the first
off-season
seasons I
idea.
remember.
Let's just go through like.
LNG
old
was
dark
the
ages.
ace.
No, let's not do that.
Let's do that. That's a great idea for a stream to put on the off-season. Just go through Nightmare Mets yearbook 2008. Like just get all.
That's classics.
Did they trade? Did they trade K-Rod too? that year, or was that the next?
No, that's the
year?
first day they signed him.
Traded
They
him.
signed him in 11. Didn't they? Yeah, no. No, he signed in 2009.
Yeah, and then they dealt him
Yeah. I don't know. He sucked
to
anyway.
Milwaukee.
Were such. Oh,
He sucked in different ways. That was his thing.
It was such disappointments. I was so
we-
excited at the time too when they got JJ Putz and Francisco Rodriguez. I was like, oh man, what an 8-9 combo!
Dylan G. Dude, Dylan G was a homie. I love Dylan. He's good.
Dylan G was decent for like the time being.
He had every now and then he had his good start.
Yeah.
Same with John Neese.
Yeah,
Every now and then John Neese would have a good start, but
He's got too big of a damn nose.
eventually it wasn't it.
It's kind of funny that
That's-
Beltran has had enough of his nose. He's like,
There
I'm
were a
just
lot
gonna
of
buy you
instances
a new
where-
nose.
There were a lot of instances where they needed John Neese, and he performed. So he came
in
up.
the dark
He came up
ages,
when they
he
needed
was-
him to.
He definitely could go underappreciated because of pitching in the dark ages.
The Dark Age.
Yeah.
It's just love. It's like nobody wants to talk about the Dark Ages anyway. It just doesn't exist. Nobody misses the woolly hairs.
Great for him at the deadline, like
Josh Edgin could have been a star.
Dude, Josh Edgin. Vic Black, my homie Vic Black. Good dude.
Josh Edgin was going to be a star and then got hurt. It just sucks.
Bobby Parnell.
Really.
Bobby
sucks.
Parnell, stud.
Bobby
till he got
Parnell.
hurt.
All right, I'm getting depressed.
DJ
now.
Carrasco.
Let's-
There you go.
I'm getting depressed. Let's send this home. Andrew, I'll let you give your closing remarks to the stand. Go ahead.
Eat more chicken.
Yes,
Eat
Chick-fil-A.
more
Eat more chicken. Chick-fil-A. Where's our sponsorship? 2. Why do the Mets have so many days off post All-Star break? We literally just came off the All-Star break. Stop giving us days off. I want to start rattling like 15 wins in a row to give the middle finger to the Braves. It's just piss them away. But in reality, content, obviously, if the deals are made, we're going to go live here. I'll have a separate channel video on my channel. I didn't make a Benintendi video. It was not worth it. Guy sucks. Ground ball strikeout machine. Not strikeout machine, but a ground ball machine. He's going to find a way to be the next Joey Gallo for the Yankees. But any other big moves, I'll be live. I'll record a video breaking down the prospects most likely, and then, of course, talking about the other piece. But giving the prospects their love because, I am a prospect-hugging rhino. And Cardinals, do not trade for Juan Soto. Or don't trade Jordan Walker. Don't trade Mason Wynn. Everybody else you can trade. Or Dylan Carlson, because I will fight you if you trade my boy. But besides that, Mets, go get Robertson, Contreras, and JD Martinez. We'll all be happy.
All right. Franklin About Sports.
Yes, I would like to make a trade deadline predictions video sometime over the weekend, and then reacting to the big trades as they happen. Obviously, all the Mets moves, videos for that. So we're getting really, really close. I mean, I'm very curious to see how this team looks by our next stream, next weekly, and let's just hope for good things. I'm hoping for a big deadline.
Yeah. All right. We'll see, guys, if we're live during the last few hours of the trade deadline. Might have some guests come on, maybe something like that. We'll figure that out. What are we? 5 days away. The hours continue to tick by. We've made a few dents in the trade deadline with Vogelbach and Michael Perez, the blockbuster catcher, but nothing yet. Still a lot of moves that have to be made. Some bats, some arms. A lot of things have to be done to go from a playoff contender to a World Series contender. And that's hopefully something that they address in these next 5 days. So other than that, game tomorrow against
Sandy.
The Miami Marlins.
the
And
Miami
Sandy.
Marlins, because why not? And then Nationals, second game. Hopefully we have the best pitcher in baseball back. So
Nah,
lots
I'll
of
have some
exciting stuff.
bugaboo.
So of course, deGrom is going to pitch after the deadline's already over.
Well, yeah, it's like getting a trade deadline acquisition, Frank. What do you mean?
Oh my goodness. I'm just glad to see him back. That's it. That's all I got to say. Hopefully he's healthy. Hopefully he feels good. And let's go Mets.
Check out Empire Sports Media for all your New York sports needs.
There you go.
Yep, what he said. Follow us on Twitter, the Facebook page. All that stuff is in the description below. Mets, make some moves. It's time to get to the World Series. I'm missing it. All right. LFGM all. We'll see you guys.